Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Welded Life live stream. I'm your host, Welded Life, coming to you live from weirdly wild and wonderfully wacky Western Kentucky. We're extending that alliteration a little bit at a time. And I want to welcome you to another fantastic stream of Fallout 76. I'm so excited to say doing a lot of work to get my power armors together and get them in working order and fine shape. A little itch there. Getting it all together, getting full sets of each particular legendary set together. I just think I got finished. I think my Vanguard set of T45 that I've got painted to be the Inferno paint job, which is pretty awesome looking. Just finished it, and not only I just finished it, it's all 3-star except for one piece that's a 2-star, and I think I have to actually go get some script today and hopefully roll into the one piece that's not. It's an auto stem piece instead of a Vanguard, but it's like 90% done as far as I'm concerned, and I'm excited about that. And I'll basically be doing the Tony Stark thing with my primary here, which is who you're looking at right now. This is Oribus Adeo. You shall pray to God, ... for a better teammate, because I'm pretty terrible at gaming. For those of you who don't know, also some other good news, if you go to the Discord channel, i.e. go to the link in the bio to my Discord channel, you will find that under the Fallout General section, I think that's where I put it, yes. Under the Fallout General section, let me see here, let me pull it up so you can see what I see on my desktop. Fallout General section, you'll notice right here, right there, that's a link to YouTube video. Imagine that, a YouTube video. Let's get on back, and I'm back with you now officially. That is a link to the YouTube video of the episode 1 of Fallout Potato episode 1. So we're going to have a lot of good fun with that. I had a good time, a bit of a lengthy period of time putting that together, but now that I've got the basics of backstory done, the next one will consist of a little bit of he went into the vault after Vault Tech, and then he comes out of Vault, and that'll be pretty much starting with my evil playthrough in Fallout 76. I'll trim down what I got to trim down, so nobody will have to watch every moment of playthrough. And I'm going to stick to just the primary quest lines for him in his evil playthrough. Now, everything I do beyond that will, in fact, he'll be the evil character. I've had him in game, not completing missions, just killing random scavenger, raider, foundation, settler, just making him basically an evil character playthrough. So just really hammer home that evil. So that being said, let's get to it, shall we? As you see, my Nuka-Cola Quantum, I've decided, I think, I don't have any power to it yet. XO1 work in progress. I believe this one, when I get done with it, which it's almost done as well, I need to, hold on. XO1, it was gonna, it's a Nuka Quantum, and it's going to be Mutant, not Mutant Slayer, Mutant. Because as you can see, I only have that one Vanguard piece, X01, and that there. So I'll get additional energy resistance and damage resistance, plus 10, plus 10, plus 10. On every piece of that. And of course, I have not modified any of it with extra fun stuff. The extra little extra fun little what do they call them? Mods. So mostly because a lot of them I just don't have a mod for. As you can see, no mods. I'll have to go buy X01 mods from, I guess, Modus, I think is who sells those. So as you can see, I've been hard at work so that you don't have to watch me do this stuff. Let's see, we're going to put, and I want to, I think what's going to happen to a lot of these is that, you know, like the T45 Mutants bolster, all these here, they aren't complete. They're like a couple pieces. But I want to do sets of T45 and have sets of regular power armor like the X01, the T65, T51, T60. I think I'm going to revert the T51, T60 to regular paint jobs and stick to modifying my T45s to the random paint jobs that I think are cool. And yeah, I think that's where we're going to go with that. There we go. Let me see what's... I don't even know what... The Warhead Ultra Sight. It's just a paint job. I don't think I actually have... Hey, it's almost a set of bolstering. Well, bolstering or... Huh. I'll tell you what. Let's make this Ultra Sight Warhead... We'll determine that later. We'll just determine it later. But you get the idea. I wish they would let you have unlimited those in these private areas, because it's just me. I keep it locked. The door is locked. I don't let a lot of people in my showroom floor, on the showroom floor, you know what I'm saying? Aristocrat, Wood, Arm, Left Arm, Urban Scout, no. It's named for me. Metal chest piece. Padded Last Bastion. But anyhow. Would help if I go make sure I have the power armor on, and I'm ready to go. I did just make some more Crimson Flux, so that's fun. Yeah, Cobalt Flux. My mistake. Alright, so now all we gotta do let's see here. Let's look at our challenges for the day. Weekly. Complete events while in a group. Fine, I will complete events while in a group. Hold on just a second, folks. Somebody text messaged me, and I need to double check and make sure of that, because I never know. Oh, okay. Somebody congratulated me on my first meeting as master of my lodge. Anywho. So I don't know who's out there in the world out there in the chat. Nobody ever says anything. That's okay. I appreciate you just being here live or watching it later. So I need to go hack a terminal. Complete events while in a group. Complete Scorched Earth. Kill legendaries. Okay, event while in a group. Let's see. Well, I guess we can go. Okay, so let's go find their events. Well, let's expand this. Let's see all of their. Yes, we'll go complete the Liberator Horde. Down in the Lucky Hole Mine. I may have lost out. I'm just going to carpet bomb that whole area and see if anything else shows its face. I think we got the job done over there. Alright, okay, now let's see. Now where are we gonna go? Let's see. Let's go do surface to air. Since we completed the other one, we'll go do that one next. Basically means I'm gonna go up there and was it the hear him out there. I think that's about does it. Alright, it can do its thing. I'm going to go over here. Oh, it does see me. Hmm. Alright, let's go down here and sell some stuff while we're at it. Oh, not too bad of a start, considering I've already been at it before I got on today. Not too bad. Vendor does not have enough caps. Well, let's get some adhesive from him. And aluminum. And now we'll offload see, what do they have that I might want? Aid wise.
Now displaying current stock. Ready to initiate.
Assassin Sledgehammer. Alright. If it ain't level 3, we ain't gonna keep it. If it ain't 3-star, ain't gonna keep it. And just make sure I stick to that rule and we complete our sets and we get all of our you know what, I'm gonna hold on to that one because it's small, won't do have a whole lot of weight to it. And I can get some plasma cartridges pretty easy, considering I already got a nice stack. Let's see, we'll put the anti-armor there. We'll put... two-shot auto grenade launcher. I'm gonna put the vampire auto grenade launcher away for the time being. Actually, no. You know what? We're going to put it right there. We'll put 4 as the one I want for my... Alright, let's see, now where to? Well, let's see where we are with our challenges this morning. Daily ops. Kill legendary enemies. 3 more of those. So I need to wait for 2 more daily ops to come up. Scorched Earth. Alright. Alright, now I got a daily ops team. Pegasi Inferno has joined the team. Alright, so I'll go ahead and jump in. They obviously want to get this done. I need 1 more after that, so If they all disperse after it's over, ta-da! I can just go right back in. So they don't if they don't disperse. Oh, as for my new jerky recipe, this is still from the General Tso jerky, what's not been vacuum sealed. And it's delicious. Barbecue beef jerky. Using some of my homemade barbecue sauce. Mm-hmm. 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 Any day now, Bethesda. Any fucking day you want to make this happen. Alright. Jeez. Yeah. And
Wubba lubba dub dub!
This is Initiate Dodge, Brotherhood of Steel. Our radio lines have been compromised. Devices in your area are responsible for the breach. Shut them down.
kill you quick.
Great. That's 2 down. There's 1 more left. Y'all know what comes next. Hunt down another batch of these poor fools.
Play little human.
He's stuck in a wall somewhere.
Got a strong signal for a code carrier. This is a new one. Sneak up on them first. Get a few shots in before they notice. Coordinate a takedown with your whole team if you have to. We need that code.
Ah, just missed the 8-minute mark.
Well fought. We got our last code. Let's shut this asshole down entirely. Head for the final interceptor.
Wait, it's downstairs? How the hell did I miss that? Oh, because it looked like it was... Well, we tried. pretty well sums that up. That I need to clean my glasses. There we go. All right. No. Oh, guided meditation. Let's go join that.
Now, imagine orbs of sublime energy around you. Reach out and gather them. Coil them to your pillars. This
Well, that was very lucrative. You know what? Let's go back to the camp to make ammo. Fantastic. And of course, we got to start working toward making sure we're back up in that 20,000 cap area. So if you want to contribute to me, buy stuff from my vending machine. Don't have something for the amount you want to donate in caps, in-game, the in-game currency that you can't buy with it. Well, let me know and I'll put something in there for that price for you. Okay. Here in a second, I gotta take a break. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna take that break now because my wife has a doctor's appointment she's gotta go to. So I will, folks, I will be right back in just one moment. Tell you what, I'll even leave pirate radio on for you. And I shall
Where anything
be
is
right back.
possible, where science and the mystical combine in surprising and unpredictable adventures. Enter a world of astoundingly awesome tales.
Attention, citizens. Nuclear strike imminent. Please exit the area at your earliest convenience. Thank you for your cooperation.
The secrets of lost artifacts. An encounter untold danger.
Tonight, we bring you Chapter 2 of Escape from the 42nd Century, another classic tale from the Atomic Chronicles of K.D. Inkwell. We rejoin our adventure in progress, with our hero flung far from her present to a dystopian possible future. A world dominated by a nefarious hive mind of dolphin-human hybrid creatures bent on converting the last remnants of humanity into their soulless collective.
Well, this is new, and I don't think this is the past. The History Deck's time locator seems to be reading... This can't be right. The 42nd century? Maybe Jenkins' calculations weren't ready to experiment with after all. The Chronotron Backpack's time crystals are completely out of sync, and will need quite some time to realign themselves to my point of origin. What is with all the propaganda around here? Are those walking dolphins?
All sublimation candidates and group
5B must report to Station Sigma immediately. Compliance breeds excellence. That sounds ominous. Judging by the posters around here, I'm guessing that this mind organization isn't exactly welcoming of regular humans like me. Better find a spot to lay low as the time crystals resynchronize.
Halt there, animals! We will capture you!
Uh-oh, that's not good. Atomic Quill, don't fail me now. That blinding flash bought me a bit of time for my escape, but I need to get out of here in a hurry if I don't want fins.
Strange one, over here. I am the help you need.
Thanks for saving me. By bringing me to the sewer.
Sewer home is the best home. The mine soldiers never venture to these depths.
I don't mean to seem ungrateful. This is all so new to me, I haven't had a chance to understand this brave new world. Let's start with something simple. Who exactly are you?
I have a name, as I am singular. I am the one called Jason David Braden. Leader of the human resistance cell of Sector 19. Are you singular?
I'm KD Inkwell, the one and only. I have some time to kill before I can return to my home. Sector. Did I hear something on the loudspeakers earlier about sublimation candidates?
Come, there are friends you must meet. We will explain all.
Looking forward to finding out more about this wild world of yours.
A wild world indeed, KD. Lost in time in a land ruled by a heinous collective of genetic monstrosities.
And I am back. Sorry about the delay. Alright, that's enough of that for now. Nice, I can put that on there to keep you. Alright, well, let's Scorched Earth it is. And that's the one I need to complete for one of the weeklies. So we'll fast travel down there and get her done. Damn, they tore it up quick. You know, what strikes me as funny is that when you think about like all the non-military, as far as we're just vault dwellers, right? In the game, that's what all of us are. Every player's their character, technically speaking, story keeping the story in your mind, came out of the Vault. They're not military necessarily. I mean, the best and the brightest, sure, but they're not military. But and we're talking about the Brotherhood of Steel and the Appalachian Brotherhood chapter before. We're not talking about the Brotherhood that came as a result of Romani and Knight Shin. We're talking about strictly the ones that were here first. It's funny to me that that, you know, them with all their military expertise, you know, being familiar with this the machinery and everything, they stood less of a fight against the Scorched Plague than the Vault Dwellers, with no military experience, kind of having to wing it when they get out here and learn how to do things on the fly. It just baffles the mind, honestly. Probably get back into the Discord. There we go. There we go. Now we're good. David Darkley. Like from a scanner, Darkly? Probably something like that. Let's give him a little. Nothing. Let's see here. Well, I need those Nuka-Colas. That's for sure. Let's see. Put your shit in your storage. Let's see, weapons. Let's sell it. I really don't need it. Armor. Assassins. Combat Bowstring T45. We're not keeping anything 1 star. Not enough legendary script. Huh. Troubleshooter, Scout, Covert. Let's see, I have, where's my sell this for script? And there should be another one in here I thought that I had. Let's see here. Bolstering. I don't have an overeater. So we got the auto stem covered. Let's see. And the nuke is going to be the mutant. So let's take the mutants off of here. I swear I had another thing for power armor. What we're gonna do? We're just gonna, I'm just gonna run over here. What? Rubber band? Much? All right. Hey, common base. Yeah, well. Oh, were you talking about the missiles I snatched out from under an old boy? With the little wood scraps that were in there? Or are you talking about the snatch and grab on the power armor frame? Gotta be quicker than that. Yeah, well, like I said, gonna be quicker than that. I feel like the old man with the fishing pole, the dollar bill. Like, whoo, you almost got it. Oh, you gotta be quicker than that. Oh. Hey, look, if it's there, if you don't want it stole, fucking scrap that shit, sell that shit, or use that shit. Lock that shit up, but don't bitch to me about taking it. I'm a hoarder, I'm gonna do that. Okay. It's got bolstering left arm. Oh, bolstering right arm. Hey, we've almost got a full set here. Bolstering and mutant. Let's see what else I got. Do I have anything in the... Okay, so let's get up into here. Let's see, armor. Let's get rid of anything that's power. And what kind of scrap? I've also found that if you just look long enough and hang out after everybody leaves up there at where they do the encrypted event, if you get up there before or whenever it's not going on, you can literally walk around and find stacks of lead, fusion cores, steel, weapons, ammo, all kinds of shit just laying around because nobody bothered to loot. And it's honestly a great resource for place to go for resources. Because often you'll find that you want some quick lead, you go down to the end near Flatwoods, and somebody's always got it. Somebody's already picked it up, unless you're like me and you get on early in the morning. So it's like, yeah, can't get that. Yeah. So what are you gonna do? I mean, and then there's other places you can go, like where you can absolutely get what you're looking for, because it's it's your own personal instance. Like if you go, I think, up to Vault-Tec University, and you go through that centermost building where you would go to drop off the DNA sample for the Scorch Beast. Down the hall on the left, there's that workout room where they're doing all the certain classes for physical health and all that creepy shit. They're telling you may have to teach a young vault dweller about the birds and the bees, and how they'll start smelling funny things and find strange places and growing hair out of everywhere. That crazy, creepy shit. And they're telling you, you're, as an overseer, you may have to teach your people how to resort to cannibalism in a life or death situation. Huh? Oh, on the Discord, I do have the first episode of Fallout Potato on there. Kind of an intro into how he got to West Virginia, leaving his hometown behind. And a little backstory about Potato as he moved from the real world of the City of Heroes pre-war to the post-war out of 76. And that's be... oh, you did? Okay, well, hopefully you enjoyed it. I don't know what to think of it, honestly, myself. See, I don't need T-45 mutants because I'm going to have Nuka XO1 mutants. Let's see. That's actually footage from City of Heroes, except for the nuke drop at the end. Of course, that's footage from 76. I didn't want to voice the first episode myself because I didn't feel I would do Potato any justice, because he's literally going to be it's going to be fun doing episode 2 because I'm going to have to explain how he, on his mere mention of his name alone, got into the vault. Not because he's anything special, but of course I've already alluded to his mother having manipulating and DNA and such. So that's kind of what I'm going to go with on that, because that's how he's going to live through 76 and go through Fallout 3. 76, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, and Fallout 4. I've got mods for Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 to where I am not the vault dweller. I start outside the vault, and it's a different story kind of thing. So he won't actually go into Vault 111 or 101. All right. It's gonna be something else, but it's gonna be me doing an evil playthrough the way I want to do it. All right, let's see. So I need to, okay, so if I do this one, I can do an Overeaters. I kind of do. Well, we'll leave the T45 on there, and all right, any day now. Okay, this was the greatest thing that ever happened. Now I can go T45 Overeater, and I know what I'm doing with that set now. That's wonderful. Aristo. This is supposed to have been. Well, this is the sell it for script. I've already got auto stem, so I don't need that. Let's see. We'll just call that set Hunter. Right arm. Well, that's got a right arm. What about the bowstring set? Or aristocrat? Well, we'll throw that on there with it. The beauty of having sets like this where you just kind of do like that and tuck them away. Is that I can start putting the lower star ones on there when there's no more script left. Let's see where I'm at in my challenges. I need to hack a terminal. And I need one more daily op. So as soon as one daily op team pops up. Kill some 2 more legendaries. Alright, let's tell you what, we're just going to go into random building over here and see if we can't find a terminal to hack. Surely to God, one of these buildings over here in Watoga High School needs to get hacked. Tell you what, Mountain Dew thrashed apple. Oh, it's pretty damn good. I will say it's pretty damn good. Let's see. It's an announcement terminal. Scooby-Doo-Doo-Doo-Doo-Doo-Doo, Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo, poop, poop. Yeah. Oh, I saw technical data. Nice. I don't think I have the November announcement draft. Ooh, Nuka-Cola. That's neat. Perhaps in the future, we could put on Potato, a stage play. Alas, poor tater tot, I knew you, Horatio, a man of infinite mashed potatoes and spuds. Well, it's not the greatest of ideas, but Potato a musical? Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my scallop gal. I don't know. I think it could work, or maybe do a little. Blame it all on my roots. I'm a tuber. Well, I can't rhyme roots with roots. It's a tuber root. Potato's a tuber root. Damn. We'll have to think about that. Alright. Over a Nuka-Cola cherry. Oh, I can pick up... Oh, no, you can play them, but you can't pick them up. Okay. Oh, pipe revolver. Ammo, 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 ammo. Why there's live ammo on a theatrical set? I don't know. Maybe I should ask... No, I'm not gonna bash him. The rest of the world's doing it enough. Maybe I should ask Mr. Baldwin. Oh, well, I don't know about later. I'll be on for another hour or so at least. But you get back to work, man. Do what you gotta do. Don't get fired on my account. Shit. Hell, I ain't that entertaining anyway. Let's see, food and drink. Dirty water. Let's see. Boiled water. Let's see, what else we got over here? I'm sure I got a purified. Oh, no. There's a purified water. Fashionable glasses. Okay. Wardrobe status occupied. This is a great place to loot for plastic and aluminum. Aluminium if you're one of our European friends. I still say you're wrong. It's aluminum. Change my mind. Come on my Discord and change my mind if you disagree. Because their argument will be, well, it's the Queen's English. Well, that's the Queen's English. What about the rest of us motherfuckers? Ah, ha, ha. Can I? Okay, you can't hurt them. Nothing is real. You know what? Let's get our camera. Like in true tourist fashion, let's take pictures of art. This shows the true anger and teen angst in this high school. I think it perfectly represents on the superfluidities of life and how it affects us all, with a touch of Mothman glowing eyes in that corner. Jackson Pollock, well, will be disgusted with this one. But we're going to take a picture of it anyhow. And Sea of Green by the Beatles. No, wait. Alright. So we've got all these. We're doing touristy things now. This one, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that one of the ones from Fallout 4? One of the paintings by, what's his name? The serial killer in Fallout 4. Pickman. Not Pickman. What was his name? Shit. Maybe it was Pickman. I don't remember. Something to that effect. Now we'll have some classy backgrounds.
Welcome, teachers and students, to Wachovia High School's annual Monster Mash. Please gather in the commons and await your instruction. Teachers, race to find the Monster Mash. After you get it, run from the students. As you flee, candy will fall from holes in the mask. Be sure to collect as much as possible. The more candy you collect, more supplies
The Monster Mash.
Please gather and come. The next round of the Monster Mash begins. If you have candy from the previous round, turn it in at the smart vending machine for price. have candy from the previous round. You turn it in at the smart vending machine for prizes. Hey, smart children. Reminder, teachers grab the mask. You will collect candy falling out of the mask. You find buckets of candy hidden around the school to refill the mask. Students, hit the monster mask like a pinata and collect candy that flies out. On your marks. Get ready. Go.
Hey, somebody bought the orange Mentats recipe. Fantastic. That's another, I don't remember how much I charged for that one, but something. Yeah, we'll keep moving. Shoo-ba-dee-doo, shoo-ba-dee-doo. There we go. Get a nice little rhythm to the run.
Thank you to our teachers, students, volunteers who made the event possible. And remember to make a smart choice this year and turn in your candy for healthy and wholesome gifts and surprises. Have a safe and pleasant Halloween.
Alright. We're up to almost 1,400 on that. Alright, that's pretty good. Still need a terminal to hack. Which is why I was in here in the first place. Alright, let's see. Of course, the librarian's got some liquor tucked up in Red Menace. Am I going into this door? I don't know if I ever came in here. Well, that's something. Ooh, goodness gracious. All right, let's see. Huh. Do-do-do-do. Alright. So nothing at Watoga High that I found quickly. Alright, there's all the dailies done. Alright. Where are we at on the challenge board? Legendaries. I need one legendary, one daily op, a level up, and the repeatable for the week. So I think now's as good a time as any to come on down here. Come find us a legendary Scorched Beast. You're just a regular Scorched Beast. I don't want a regular Scorched Beast. Boom. West Tech. It's probably supposed to be easier to find a legendary super mutant than it'll be to stand around over here and try to figure something out with a damn Scorch piece, and then it's just more of a fight than it needs to be. Well, I can just come over here to West Tech, and it's most likely going to be a legendary super mutant. And all I gotta do is get 'em peeve. Oh hell, let's go check around back too, I guess. Power something. Let's see. wait, we got others up here. Two that are clipped into each other. Yeah. Wee. 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 All right. All right, that's awesome. All right. I think now we can go and leave. Fantastic. That's means we only need. Oh, well, let's just fast travel back to camp. That'll work out just nice. Ho! Osa212. Hello there. I was in West Tech. Why are you working in? Are you referring to my hat? But no, actually, I was my hat. That was actually custom made for me. I actually have we'll call him a sponsor, so much as just a nice lady that likes to make things for me, and I told her if she made me a hat, and hold on, it gets even better. It gets even better than a hat. Give me just one moment here. I don't have just this nice little ball cap here. I have a nice big Nuka-Cola bottle cap. So I had those custom made for me, and that damage there is not from her work so much as my clumsiness. But you can go, if you go on Facebook and you look up Nitwits Craft House, spelled just like you see here, Knitwits, that's one word, then Craft House are there's 3 words. Yeah. Nitwits Craft House on Facebook. You'll find her there. And she can do just about anything. She's the crafting queen of Western Kentucky. So, you know. But welcome. Welcome aboard. Hopefully I'll be entertaining for you. Western Kentucky, yes, I am from Western Kentucky, born and raised on the playground where I spent most of my days. I think that's copyright infringement, so I'll have to be careful with that. Yes, I am born and raised Western Kentucky. Second half of the world. Depends on how you look at it. First half over here. Alrighty. Let's see here. What was I about to do? There was something I came back here to the camp to do. Now, for the life of me, I do not remember what the hell it was going to be. I have enough, because I stream so early of the morning. I usually start my time usually 6, anywhere between 6 and 8 a.m. Central Standard Time here in the States. That's the second time zone off the East Coast. You have Eastern, then you have Central. So I'm the second time zone off the East Coast of the United States. Usually I do get a fair few. I've even had, let's see, several whether they come on and stream live with me or just live over there. We have Jersey Girl who comes on in the afternoon sometimes with me. She's in Norway. She's actually from Jersey, but her husband lives there. Lives with her husband there in Norway. Then we got, let's see, let me go look at my Discord. I got a Discord channel where we all get together and well, that's about chickens. Is the same you're getting in common with Kentucky is about, well, look, just because it says KFC and it means Kentucky Fried Chicken doesn't mean that's how every motherfucking Southerner here in Kentucky eats their chicken. Trust me. KFC is okay. It's not bad. But my fried chicken is better. I like to also deep batter dip my catfish, which is delicious, by the way. I make my own barbecue sauce. And what all you heard, don't let the Southern drawl fool you. Just because we sound like you should automatically deduct 20 IQ points, that's what we call playing country dumb. It allows you to step forth and put your foot in your own mouth. So, before we go any further in conversations, there's a lot of assumptions made by Southerners. Now, because there are ignorant, dumb, and or stupid people of all walks of life. You ain't got to have a country accent, a Southern accent to be dumb, just to sound dumb. Matter of fact, I've got an associate's in welding technology. Might as well be. It's basically the educational equivalent of a master's degree in welding. Hence, the name Welded Life. No, I cut up and we give each other a hard time here on the channel when I got Jersey on here. Or we got a Frenchman by the name of Fake Out who gets on here from time to time. I've got Bee Gees. You'll see him get on here from time to time with me. He's from Malaysia. And I've got Tell Day who gets on here with me. He was actually on here with me yesterday, maybe. He's from South Africa. I've got pretty much the Rainbow Coalition of people all over the globe. You might not have clicked if you didn't think it was that, huh? Well, that says a lot. That's all I need to know about you. Need to add about, let's see, to your name we ought to add about what? 208 to your name, and that'd be about right. I'll wait till you do the math on that. Ha ha ha, to get the joke. No. Now we have a good time. We got people from all over that come together here, and we discuss everything from builds, computer builds, Fallout 76 character builds. Here, of course. By the way, also, so if you want to get in on the Discord, you're welcome to. Let me just show you what I got set up, and I'm not above adding to this in the future. Welcome to General. My schedule, it's kind of a moot point right now. My schedule's been, since holidays came through, it's been all over the place. Fallout General stuff. This is where I've got anything in general you want to add, like, oh look, there's the aluminum baseball bat from Fallout 4. With the bladed. Here's the one that I made, because, oh yeah, you've already mentioned you were greetings from Europe. I assume that meant you were from somewhere in Europe. Whether it's primarily an English-speaking country or not, doesn't matter. Yeah, so I got bored and I decided I was just going to make that. But like I said, we got a general thing for Fallout. Of course, Rust, if you play Rust. City of Heroes. That's my cousin's room. Enter at your own risk. His sense of humor is very dark. So Death by Stupidity's room. Be careful. I don't know what or if anything he's supposed to. He have bad jokes, like not safe for work or not safe for anything. They all go right there. Shameless self-promotion, which nobody's been using. Like, get on here and shamelessly self-promote your stream, your Twitch stream. I want you to. Random stuff, whether it's jokes or what have you, just pay no mind. I got caught standing. I was beside myself with grief the other day. No, not literally. That was just where it was loading screen issues. And then, show us your build. If you have a build you want to put on there, that's one I've got to look at from Tell Day that he's doing. It's not a bloodied build, but it's an anti-armor something build. Pretty interesting stuff. But as you noticed in the Fallout General, we have Potato Episode 1. This is I've never done, I'm going to be honest with you, I've never done an evil playthrough on any of the Fallout games. Now, I know that's hard to believe. I've tried. I have tried to do an evil playthrough of the Fallout games. But without fail, I always end up rotating over to, the Brotherhood, giving up on the evil pursuits and with the Raiders and Nuka World. Oh. Well, when we talk about Fallout 3, it's pretty well, the Enclave is pretty well the evil of evil, right? 76 Raiders, yes, I will agree, they're not completely evil. They are chaotic. I'd say they're lawful evil, neutral evil-ish. But they still will rob you and kill you and take your shit, which does not help civilized society. It does not help mankind get back on its feet, because mankind, in order to survive the genetic monstrosity that's come from an irradiated wasteland, you need all the DNA variants out there that have survived. Number one, because they're tough enough to have survived this long in an irradiated wasteland. Number two, because if you lack genetic diversity, you end up becoming very, very inbred. Now we can move back into Southern jokes about Arkansas, because that's where that shit happens here in the States. I'm kidding. Now the Institute, it's a whole other thing. I have my theories about the Institute. You didn't finish Fallout 4? Okay. How far did you get? Did you get into the Institute at all? Because you know that's what you were building to. Or do you know any of the lore? I don't want to spoil it for you. But I have a theory about the Institute, and I can back it up with stuff from Fallout 3. That I won't even tell you. I do have a YouTube channel. I'm going to warn you, I've got a Fallout Theories and Madness episode on there that I put. I haven't done another one since. That it's, you really need to do that storyline. It's amazing. And go to the Institute, however, because there's different pathways, all of them intersect with the Institute. You will, if you pursue the game, meet the Institute. You need to go meet the Institute, learn that story, get familiar with that storyline, and then you can go to my YouTube channel, which I think is also linked on here. I have a theory, and I'm pretty sure I'm right about it, about the Institute. And it explains a whole lot. Yeah, they're the main quest line. But once again, siding with them, and you know, if you've been to any of the but you know, they actually made progress in such conditions. True, but they were in a vault-like situation. They're shut off. People don't know how to get to them. You know, talk to them, communicate with them. They're locked away. I'm not going to spoil that for you. But you also know that people are terrified in the wasteland of the synths. You know, who's a synth? They've been replacing people. You know that's the story as you go into Diamond City. Brotherhood of Steel, here's the thing, though. You've got guns. Okay, they got guns. You ain't fucking with them. They ain't fucking with you. They say, hey, you got this dangerous piece of technology over here we need to commandeer so we can preserve it, put it away, so when mankind's ready, and it can be adapted for proper use for mankind, it can be reinstituted and used, but if it's too dangerous, it's locked away and or destroyed, minus whatever technology they can harvest and knowledge they can harvest out of it. Now, and even in the Brotherhood of Steel, you're dealing with multiple... So let me mute the game for myself as well. Now, when you're dealing with the Brotherhood of Steel, you have to deal with multiple different versions of the Brotherhood. Well, they were leftover mankind's protectors. They are literally the leftover remnants of the military, which the military in a lot of countries, well, that's their job, is to protect mankind. That's the thing. A lot of the technology that you're finding, these weapons, yeah, but think about the stuff they go after. Are they going after your 5.56 and your assault rifle? No. Are they going after your power armor? Not necessarily. They've got power armor. The Institute doesn't give two shits about the people on the surface. And I think if you go through the quest line and actually learn about, and listen to some of the holotapes and stuff and go through some of the files and stuff there in the lore there, trust me, I could ruin the game for you. I'll tell you, the Institute does not give two fucks about people on the surface. Why? because they are contaminated. Much in the way that Elder Maxon of Fallout 4, and I don't know if you've run into him yet, feels about super mutants. Now, right now, Brotherhood of Steel, like the Elder Lions Brotherhood of Steel, the Paladin Romani Brotherhood of Steel, and even the Elder Lions, like Fallout 1 Elder Lions, that you get a little bit of snippets in with him in Fallout 76 through some of the holotapes when you get over to Fort Defiance. You find out a lot about what he did. They snapped. They found out how technology was being used by mankind. And their whole goal was recover it so they can remove the problem. And even in the Wastelands, granted, it may not be nice that they're doing these things, but when you get into some of the stories in this universe is proving them to be correct in taking it. Morally, it doesn't make it right, but it does make it necessary. As far as their right to do so, well, they're the remnants of the U.S. military. As long as they keep bolstering their numbers by incorporating more people, they are still, technically speaking, working through that same hierarchy of military structure. And I would much rather have a paramilitary organization hoarding technology that's not trying to overthrow my city where I live or my township or whatever. It's fine to let a city be a city, which is what all the Brotherhood's ever done, unless you take the evil route in the early Fallout games and stuff like that. Was it Brotherhood of Steel? It was the one after Fallout 2, but before Fallout 3. The Brotherhood of Steel Tactics. True. Well, once you start seeing how some of the other people are using this tech, and you look at the Raiders and how they use the tech, then you look at the Institute, they're just as bad in that they're hiding away too. The Enclave, if you learn from Fallout 1 and 2, were looking to eliminate anything that was mutated. They had the Elder Lions of Fallout 4, they kind of had his mindset on things. They wanted to wipe out all the mutants, everything mutated, which included everybody who on the planet who had been affected by the FEV. And they have their own country state, and there are options within the first I think is it the first Fallout? Or one of the maybe it's New Vegas, to align both the Brotherhood of Steel New Vegas one with them for the final playthrough in the game. Now, what actually plays through in the end, I don't know, because you don't get a lot of actual closure as to what's canon. I don't remember what was canon, honestly. But you have that option to align whatever side you choose in New Vegas with the NCR, if you side with the NCR, with Mr. House, if you side with the Vegas Strip, with Kaiser and the Legion. You can align those factions together. And the NCR being a new governmental structure, as far as like a civilian government structure, it would be a perfect pairing to have them. They have ex-military, but once again, some of the military that we have in other factions, as far as NCR, is the remnants of other military factions that were just kind of lost in the shuffle after the Great War. Everything, well, debate. I could say no, absolutely not. Kaiser and the Legion are absolutely slave traders, and the end, they will consume themselves, because all they do is enslave and march further west and try to take and control and enslave. They don't set up townships. So he's not mentioned setting up a township. He's mentioned laying waste to his enemies. That's it. Caesar's whole plan is to march to the west and destroy everything, enslave everybody, and take their resources. He's not made mention of setting up a city-state, other than the Hoover Dam, but that's just because he got his pride hurt. He's got camps of slaves. Women, men. He kills the men and enslaves the women, and basically, you know, he's got some convoluted rationale about what the Roman Empire was, and you can go and do some deep digs with Oxhorn on that. And I at first listening to Oxhorn, I was like, well, you know, debatable. But once again, you're literally falling into the same trap of, well, the Brotherhood has no right to determine when mankind's ready for X. Well, Caesar has no right as one man to determine the fate of humanity. That's the same thing. But NCR are murderers and war crimers. Well, no faction is spot-free in the post-war. But I would say absolutely any organization that's out and outright looking to enslave people probably leans more to the evil than the good. So I would much rather have things like the Brotherhood of Steel, the NCR, who we know try to do what's best for their people. Now, there's always going to be corruption in politics and in the military and in any institution you set up. But in setting up an institution like that, where it's more democratic, now the Brotherhood of Steel is not so democratic, but you do work your way into being an elder, right? I would much rather have these organizations that have democracy. Now, the Enclave's different because they while they preach they're democratic to the Enclave members, it's only the Enclave members who count toward the vote. If you have experienced radiation and your DNA is mutated, which is everybody on the planet, and that whole FEV thing, how they tried to they were going to wipe mankind out, and was it Fallout 2? Was it Fallout 2? Fallout 1's the master. Fallout 2 is the Enclave. That's what it was. They were very isolated because they knew that there may still be remnants of the governmental structure that caused the problem in existence, like the Enclave. And they felt they had to isolate themselves, if you go back through the lore, because they didn't want somebody coming in and going, well, I'm such and such senator from such and such, and being the only member of the Senate. And the Constitution says you go from, because when you look at the U.S. Constitution, is what it really boils down to and why they did it. If the president ain't there no more, it's the vice president. If the vice president ain't there, it goes to the Speaker of the House. The chain of command, there's an entire chain of command all the way down to the janitor. I'm being facetious, but they just don't want to kill the innocent. In fact, the whole reason the Brotherhood of Steel started with the original Elder Maxon was because they went to, was it Navarro or Mariposa? I don't remember which one. I think it was Mariposa. And they found about all the FEV experiments that were being done. And they proceeded to detain all the scientists, start executing personnel who were guilty of this shit. Under the, because you know, and then they defected from the United States, sort of. They basically, you know, was there right. Well, their whole formation is on the basis of seeing the atrocities that took place against mankind, and their mindset from that jump off point was to protect mankind. They started executing. And yes, and it always changes, but at their core, they're ex-military, and they have been looking to remove the dangerous technology. They're not out there trying to remove sets of power armor. They're not out there stopping people from using fusion cores and all the tech that's out there. But, you know, you have stuff like, oh shoot, I can't even think of it. Enclave is mostly well, technically speaking, and you go into the lore, the Enclave, the core of the Enclave is just the government. And that the Brotherhood has never used that tech to try to wipe out mankind. The Enclave, on the other hand, has. So I would much rather have the Brotherhood. I would much rather put Brotherhood of Steel on the side of good, although they waver and can be more gray, and they're good, than the Enclave, which they're so far, they're not there. You can't even say. They see the danger of mutation. But every day, in every generation, there are mutations in humanity. We all are always constantly changing. It's part of evolution and adaptation. Look at society around us. I mean, 250,000 years ago, the first, 250,000 years ago, you're literally looking at the first forms of humankind that look like we do today. And you're not going to, in an irradiated hellscape such as the Wastelands of Fallout, you're never going to get away from mutations. The food, it's already in the very soil, the plants, they've all been tarnished. And there's no getting back to Eden at this point. It's much more interesting when factions are in gray shades. Yeah, and that's the moral ambiguity of a lot of it is what drives the games for most people. And yeah, there are shades of gray, but obviously WH40K, what's that? Warhammer 40K. Yeah. I'm not a big follower on that one. I haven't really got into that. But overall, in general, with the exception of a few outlying instances, like with the Fallout 4 version of the Brotherhood, where they get very, I'm going to call it racist, if you will, against mutants, super mutants, and ghouls, which because they don't see the Brotherhood doesn't see the value in a ghoul, a non-feral ghoul. I would be like, it's great. They'd be great assets for their knowledge of the times and things like that. There's xenophobia. There you go, xenophobia. Thank you. I needed that word. It just jumped out of my head. But you get that, and I mean, I get why it's like that, but it's just because they're also living through the lore and the story of what happened to many of those folks via the experimentation. So I forgot what I was going to do. So there are clearly ones you could put more on the side of good, and there are clearly ones that you're meant to see that's maybe morally ambiguous, but they definitely are evil leaning versus good leaning. I mean, the Brotherhood may be morally ambiguous at times, but there's more good leaning than evil. If you have that median line, I can see them leaning more to the good, although they may be more center mass at times than things like the Enclave and the Institute. I mean, the Institute has no interest in helping humanity above the ground. You go through their holotapes. When you do that, you will find that they really don't give a two shits. They rarely recruit from the outside world. They are their own island. And in doing that, they are dooming themselves and humanity above, because they have the technology to help mankind above, but they're like, screw them. Go through the lore on the Institute, and you will find that in just damn near every terminal post when it comes to the because they did at one point, the Institute did have a working relationship with the people above ground. I say above, well, okay, outside of the Institute, because nobody comes to or from the Institute ever. Yeah. It'd be worth looking at all that. And you'll find that they really don't give two shits about much anybody. Let's see. Oh, but morally ambiguous for sure. Alright. While I'm here, let's see. Challenges. Weekly. Need one more daily op. Do. Interest of yours group are in first. Well, I have a hard time wanting to do what I call an evil playthrough, and I have to think about morally what it takes, what I find morally reprehensible. And there are things that stand out above all the others in those. Your group are in first. Yeah, well, yeah, your group are in first. It's 100% natural. Yeah, the things that I'm more akin to, that I relate more to, I'll find more value in and put higher on my in my thought process of evil leaning or good leaning, whether it's evil or right there somewhere in the gray. But there are things about certain of these groups that they stand out to me above a lot of it, and is why I feel the way I do about certain things. You know, if you want to, I mean, there are some I could use some arguments made by people I know about the Fiends being good. They're just fiends. They just need a place to go and do their drugs in peace and get more drugs. Then they'll go out and kill people. But that's just part of it, right? No. No, they're not a morally gray. They're not morally ambiguous. They're clearly terrible. But I'm being, like I said. Fallout New Vegas, the Fiends. They're the ones that wear the Raider armor with the horns on some of them, and they're down in one of the vaults that they took over and killed everybody down there. Alright, let's see. No, not the cons. Not the cons. They're the ones that wear the biker leather. They're like the cons are kind of like bikers, in that they wear the leather vests and stuff like that. Look like old school bikers, riding a Harley Davidson. You expect them to roll up on a Harley. Now the cons are the Fiends are the ones that the cons sell drugs to in New Vegas. They're what vault is it they're in? As a matter of fact, if you work with the NCR, they actually have you go kill the Fiends, their leaders, as part of that quest line. So oh, okay. Well, give me a second. I'm on it. Alright, I got desktop. These are the ones we're looking at here. You see them dressed like that. You always see this closing credit in the end of the game. They're wearing like the Raider style kind of armor and stuff, but it's all tricked out with like old skulls and shit. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, nuke inbound, nuke inbound. 1 second ago. Well, where's it going to hit? Alright, well, I guess I'll go down here. Now, but I mean, some would argue that, you know, people who are addicted to chems, or in our world, drugs in our universe, just need. And I've heard the argument made by people who I would think had a brain in their head, that they need that people who are users just need a safe place to go use, where they have a nurse on staff in case they overdose, versus no, we need to get them to help. Get them the help they need to get off drugs. No, I've heard the argument made. I haven't made the argument. In fact, I called them asinine for ridiculous for even suggesting it. But I've heard the argument made for people in our world that, yeah. Now, no, of course they don't progress. You have to, in order for the game to progress, you have to basically either kill them or don't. Alright. I've heard many people play some really bad. Yeah, but they don't hurt anybody. Not hurting anybody is impossible because you're doing damage to yourself. I mean, you're doing damage. Well, no. I can responsibly use a gun and nobody gets hurt. You can't responsibly use heroin and nobody get hurt. I go to the range. I responsibly use my firearm. Nobody gets hurt. The target gets hurt, but that's it. There's no practice range for heroin or crack or coke. The damage is done to the body, the mind, whatever. It just is. And just giving somebody an excuse to say, well, I've got this safe place I can go to do the whatever dope it is, that's ridiculous. Yeah, but there's still somebody being damaged. You can't say nobody is damaged by that. One person, be it the person using, is still damaged. Whereas I take my firearm to the range, unless I'm screwing around and doing stupid stuff I shouldn't be doing, my responsible use, then nobody is damaged. Yeah. And I know I'm not responsible for that person's actions. But when that person goes too far, and in the event they do hurt themselves, overdose, and dies, the people around them will pay for that. They will suffer for that. There won't be there's no other explanation. Somebody will suffer for that mistake, because there will be a time when there's, that use goes too far. Well, despite it having bad aspects to it, junk food still serves a purpose of filling one's stomach. There are some nutrients. Now, there are junk food out there that doesn't have any nutrients in it, for sure. But at the same time, most junk food at least has some nutritional value, albeit not much. And in the event, that's not recreation. Sorry. Go walk in the park. Go play baseball. Go play basketball. Play a game of chess. There's a myriad of things you can do for recreation. And it's not really recreation so much as numbing the mind. Yeah. I've drank before, sure. But I don't, my drinking doesn't ever get excessive. I drink maybe once, twice a year. People who are looking to use aren't looking to use once or twice a year. The people who are making this argument for them aren't looking to use once or twice a year. They're looking to use on a daily basis. And you can argue that, well, you drank a beer, so, that negates your point. Yeah, perhaps. Perhaps it negates my point. But moreover than that, I'd say it doesn't. Because the point of the drug use is there is going to be excess. There are people who can have a beer with dinner, and it's fine. And as a matter of fact, a beer, oftentimes you can have doctors say you should have a beer or a glass of wine with dinner to lower your blood pressure. I'm sure there are people who can do that. But for the general population, no. People are too on. But then again, you're just now, by arguing like this, you're literally arguing that the fiends are good. Oh, I figured you weren't. And there are certain substances that I have no issue with. When I'm talking about drugs, I'm not talking about somebody smoking a little weed. Not in the slightest. I'm talking about somebody who's going after hard drugs. Heroin, cocaine, crack, meth, all that shit. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about weed. I'm not talking about a little tobacco if somebody wants to smoke a cigarette. Alcohol is probably of the low end of the drug spectrum, is probably the worst of them. On the talk about the low end of drugs and alcohol spectrum. A lot of these drugs are it's self-stacking in that respect. At some point, for those, and there are many people who don't have self-control, they will find themselves in the predicament looking for their next fix. I know one too many people I graduated high school with that are, well, they're in bad shape because of what drugs have done to them. And I think if Jersey Girl were on here, she'd make that case for me. So, I mean, there are people out there who can control themselves. Most people can't. And at what point is too much to that effect? You know? Although I do appreciate your outlook on all this. Very interesting. There are things that are what I would call a low tier, low risk substance. Weed, like marijuana, tobacco. Although it's a high risk, really people get hooked on it. But it's easier to quit smoking cigarettes than it is to quit doing heroin when you're hooked. Oh, Hunter. True. Which is why I'm not a lawmaker. I have my opinions on things, and that's what we're discussing. It's the beautiful thing about the social outlets such as this, is I can differ in opinion than you, and I can say I can argue for my side all day long, and you can argue for your side all day long. We can come to an impasse, as I believe we are at an impasse on the whole subject, and still go, well, okay, well, that's, it's their body, sure. And in the end, no matter what I say and what my opinion of it is, they are still the people who are going to use to excess, do drugs to excess and OD, they're still going to do it. My opinion is not going to change what they're going to do. It's not going to change my opinion on it, but it might change theirs. Their drug use will probably... The only thing that's going to happen is their drug use will change their opinion. Either it will or it won't. Well, it will absolutely change... Their drug use will absolutely change their opinion at some point. And in that, I mean, it doesn't matter what my opinion is. My opinion doesn't have to change, and it's not going to on the matter. But their opinion with their drug use... I'm talking about hard drugs, mind you. I'm not talking about liquor, cigarettes, and weed. I'm talking about hard drugs. And people are going out and finding these narcotics, heavy narcotics. Their drug use will at some point change their own mind. In one of three ways. And when I say change their mind, they'll have used for so long that it won't change. Their opinion really won't change, but it will become more cemented. The way I am about my view on this. Number two, they will come to an OD or some point where they are fiending and craving their addiction, and will see the light and go, I need to get away from this. Number two. Or number three, they will overdose and die, and their opinion will absolutely be changed. Overdose. To take too much and die. OD, we call it ODing. To OD or OD. OD. ODing, kind of like that. Like you'd say walking or talking. OD, overdosing. ODing. So they'll either maintain a position kind of like yours, where it's their body and they're fine with it. They don't use too much. They don't believe they use too much. And they'll maintain because they have self-control. Number two, they will come close to an overdose, or they'll see their heavy use and they'll want to change, which is what a lot of people do when they go to rehabilitation here in the States. Or they will die, and that will change their opinion because they'll be dead. I don't want that for people. That's a shame when I believe people can move away from those kinds of needs. The psychological need people place on things like that. I don't have a psychological need for beer. That's what an addiction is, and that's what a lot of people that use it for. I know there are recreational users. I'm not going to deny that there's not people out there who smoke weed recreationally, and I'm not going to deny that there are people who smoke weed medicinally. It's where we cut that fine moral line. We have to be very sure that we want to make that line in the sand, because it becomes a progressive thing at that point, in that, well, now this is okay, what's next? I mean, there are negative ramifications to tobacco use. I'm never going to deny that. I used to smoke cigarettes, and I quit. I've never felt better in my life. I got that monkey off my back. It was mostly the environment I was in. Lots of stress, and I felt like it was a stress reliever. So when I say I was number 2 on that list of, woke up gasping for breath and couldn't breathe, and then going, I quit. I'm done. I went cold turkey, which they say anything you quit cold turkey could be dangerous. Because your body could have a, what do they call it, withdrawals. Well, a glass of wine with dinner is not bad because it lowers your blood pressure. Doctors will tell you this every day. Marijuana has its medicinal uses that have been proven in studies. Tobacco. I've seen studies showing that one cigarette every X amount, I don't remember how the spread on it was good for your heart to give it a workout. Not smoking consistently all the time. You're smoking a pack of cigarettes a day, no. And that goes back to what I try to look back on when I do anything is old wisdom. You'll always find that there's old wisdom out there in the world. And old words of wisdom. Anything can be good in moderation. Well, there's a use, but that's what it's used for. It's not being used recreationally. Once again, those will have their places medicinally, and I would agree to it. Medicinally, I'm never going to challenge anything if a doctor's going to recommend it legitimately for any purpose like that, any medicinal purpose. I'm not going. Heroin are good because we treat them. Well, we don't do heroin for pain here in the States. Morphine is something you'll get if you are in the emergency room and you're in so much pain. You really don't just get morphine. Like, I can think of very few people who've actually had what's called a morphine pump installed in their hip. My grandmother had one in her hip. It was a slow morphine drip that she had to have filled every 3 months. That kept a slow dose of morphine. Yeah, and my grandmother had a drug problem. She doctor shopped to get what she wanted. And literally that's nearly killed her on a couple occasions. But I mean, once again, there are medicinal uses for drugs, recommended, science-proven medicinal uses for drugs, and I'm not going to deny them. If there's a doctor out there in some country that's found and studied that heroin has a place treating this ailment, I'm not going to deny it. I think that's probably a good thing. No, medicinal, but once again, there's a difference between recreational. I have the beer I will have in a year, or any alcohol I'll drink in a year, which is maybe twice, like I said, maybe twice, Usually it's special occasions, and it's not like I'm having excessive amounts of drinks. I'm not having a case of beer, 24 beers or whatever in a setting. I'm having like a beer. I don't get drunk. I don't. I know people who do. I know people who try to lure me into that lifestyle. And, you know, you can look at studies that say that, you know, a glass of wine or a beer in the evening, good to reducing your blood pressure. If you're having kidney problems, a beer is good for you to help you urinate if you're having problems urinating. Okay, what physical ailment does crack cocaine take care of? Oh, wait. I've not seen a medicinal. The ones I'm challenging don't have a medicinal use these days. That there's not some counterpart to it medicinally. That's recommended with a lower grade chance of addiction. Morphine and methamphetamine. Well, see, here's the thing. I said methamphetamine. I'm not talking about amphetamines. Amphetamines, there's a place for those in the medical world. Methamphetamines is something people make, like when you're looking at the little liquor still over there. Meth is kind of made like that, sort of. Not really. I know this is a brewery station, and you brew beer at this thing. But people cook that shit up in their, and I'm not talking about amphetamine. Under Adderall. Adderall, that's a different monster, okay? When you look at, I'm talking about methamphetamine. That's that, well, here, we'll go give me just a second here. Methamphetamine is a concoction made from amphetamines. Well, I don't think it needs to be. It needs to be set aside for people who medically need it. But I'm talking about like, you see those folks on TV and they think that they're some kind of hillbilly. Like, here's before meth, here's after meth. He got that meth mouth where all his teeth rotted out from meth. I'm not talking about, well, once again, there's a medicinal purpose for that, and it's a controlled substance here. I'm talking about meth. It's a hard, nasty, nasty bitch. And that meth will fuck your life up. Not methamphetamine, not amphetamines like you're talking about. There's a medicinal purpose for that, and whether it's should be used recreationally or not, that's not for me to determine. I wouldn't advise it. You know, you see what it does to people, and you can do the same thing for a lot of drugs. You know, crack. It showed up in the inner cities in the States and just decimated the urban populations in certain areas. You know, no good came of its existence on a recreational level. It was being dope was being slung like what nobody's business. You know. Oh, I know, because it's about to be the end of my stream. But there are medicinal uses for stuff, and I'm okay with it. Recreational, depending on the drug, and it's debatable, because you really do have to. I can't lump it all together. I can say in general, no, we shouldn't, but with the understanding that case by case things can be made, claims can be made for each, whether we're talking about recreational, medicinal, what have you. I will never object to a doctor prescribing most anything medicinally. With some exceptions. Once again, there's always exceptions to the rule. And like I said, I'm no doctor either, but I have first-hand experience seeing what it does to people, whether it's alcohol, smoking. Never had really anybody OD on pot or weed. You just don't. That just doesn't happen. I know people who smoke pot and they've never touched any other drugs in their lives, so it's not a gateway drug. As they like the war on drugs, that feel-good war on drugs they've had here for forever. But I think the risks outweigh the benefits in a lot of those cases. And what country are you from anyway? Proud King, European King of amphetamines. I meant to ask. I saw I say as a general rule, and this is where I stand on it, as a general rule, it's not good. But there are things on a case-by-case basis you always should look at. If your doctor says, drink a glass of wine every evening to help with, your heart or whatever, okay. I want to think. I could almost recognize Poland. Aha, strong. Okay, but that makes sense. I was trying to look at what you wrote earlier in your native language, and that would have been my guess. But at what point does it become too much? At what point do well, it's recreational. You can have a bad night. You can get some stuff that's cut wrong. Mixed. And I say cut wrong, mixed. Like some people, when it comes to certain drugs here in the States, it'll get mixed up with something else to cut it down, so you're not getting like pure cocaine. They'll cut it down with, I don't know what the recipe is, but you hear about them cutting it down. You don't know what they're cutting it with and mixing it with. Perhaps you have a peanut allergy and they cut it with peanut powder. I'm being facetious here. I'm kind of throwing that out there. But you don't know if the next time you use recreationally that when you expect, granted, if there's some you can get that are manufactured, and you're assuming that what you're buying off somebody is the correct thing, because anybody, you're not buying it from a controlled source like a pharmacy. Most likely, you're going to buy it from Shady McShadeface, who you've got a loose affiliation with, who sold you drugs in the past, who lives in his mommy's basement. And slings dope out of there. You don't know what he got. He probably doesn't. And so you don't know what you're going to get. And I would rather, and yes, the controlled environment thing sounds great in that thing. Have a nurse on hand so they can shoot their heroin up. But knowing how much they need to, how much they should and how much they shouldn't, they will trip across that line at some point. And it either will go well or will go badly. My wife and I were with family in Louisville, Kentucky, for a family member's birthday. We decided to go eat at a restaurant in the area. And my wife calls me from the bathroom. She had got to use the restroom while we were, use the restroom while we were there. And she calls me while she's out there to come to the women's bathroom. She had found somebody who had a needle in her hand and was in the process of overdosing, in the bathroom stall next to her. Take the risk if you want to take the risks, but honestly, there's enough warning out there that, you should have enough respect for your family and your loved ones that care about you to know that if you do screw up, yeah, that's your body and your life, but you don't have to live with it anymore. Somebody else will. No matter what you do to your body with drugs and alcohol and abuse, you fuck up, and you won't have to live with it anymore. But somebody else, somebody near and dear to you that cares a lot about you, will. And that's why I have my stance on it, on all of it. Is because there's always somebody out there. No man is an island, is the old saying, which means that no man is an island unto himself. Basically meaning that though you try to be and to be off to yourself and stand on your own and be your own person and take responsibility for your own actions, you still affect those around you. You are not alone in and of that. That it's a bit of conceit, but everybody at some point in their life will experience the loss of someone dear to them. And I'd hate for it to be early. But your decision in that case still affects someone else. Not directly. And that, yeah, sure, it's your life. Sure. But your decision affects someone else. And it's selfish to, I think that's selfish to take those risks. You know, if somebody wants to get drunk, okay, get drunk, whatever. Have a few time on. When you go driving, you've made the choice to take your life and others' lives into your hands. Now, in the case of drunk driving, you will most likely, if you're in a wreck, you will strike another vehicle, and they will or won't die, or they will be injured or won't. Using hard narcotics will result in the same thing. Not the drunk driving, the driving under the influence thing, but into the psychological effects of the people around you who care about you. You literally run them over with your drunkenness. So, but I will be on again tomorrow, and we can, I'll never waver on that. And of course, like I said, some things are case by case. I have no problem with people smoking weed. If people want to smoke cigarettes, sure, fine. I mean, there's the time you can still quit cigarettes. You can still quit drinking. You can only overdose to death once. You might get lucky and get away overdosing once or twice. You may keep a little Narcan around to take to nullify the effects. But you got to get to those. You got to have somebody around you that knows to use them. So, at any rate, we'll get off this dour subject, and I'm going to call it a day today. It's been a pleasure having you, Osa 212. It's been great having a discussion. I don't support them. They shouldn't be junkie. Yeah. Yeah. Not using drugs, yeah. But, and hopefully you'll come back and see me. I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow or not. We'll see how everything goes. We're having some wintry weather roll in here in western Kentucky, so we're going to see how that plays out today. Y'all, you have a blessed day, and anybody who watches this after the fact, you have a blessed day as well. I will see you hopefully tomorrow. And maybe we'll play some more Fallout. Who knows?